When we hear the word idolatry, we tend to think of history. We picture ancient societies bowing down in the dirt to crude wooden faces. We look at elaborate gold statues and assume that because we no longer craft our deities out of metal and stone, the practice has ended. We assume we are too sophisticated for it. But the practice didn't actually disappear. It simply evolved, stripping away the heavy stone and gold to rebrand itself for a modern audience. That assumption of being culturally evolved is the exact blind spot that allows modern idolatry to thrive unnoticed in our daily routines. The text of Isaiah 44 frames the concept of idolatry as a profound, active state of self-deception. The text pauses to ask a specific, timeless question: is there not a lie in my right hand? In our current context, that lie refers to the arbitrary cultural standards that we unconsciously elevate until we treat them as absolute truths. A modern idol is a lie we hold on to tightly. We grip it in our hands, unaware that we've handed over our time, our sense of worth, and our ultimate devotion to a fiction. One of the most visible modern idols is the pursuit of beauty and the aggressive push of ungodly fashion ideals. Society demands that we cleave to a very specific aesthetic, often rigid, European-centered standards of beauty that dictate what is acceptable. This cycle functions exactly like an ancient deity. A cultural standard feeds personal insecurity, demanding sacrifices of time and wealth, feeding right back into the standard. This manufactured cycle replaces God's standard of beauty with an unattainable, consumer-driven metric. Eurocentric aesthetics operate as systemic idols, defining a person's value by a manufactured image. When we trade our time and resources for these metrics, we are effectively outsourcing our sense of worth to a consumer cycle. This dynamic also infects spirituality, creating what we can call the genie in the bottle. We live in a consumer-driven environment that trains us to expect transactional interactions. We put something in, we expect what we want out, and convenience is the priority. We project that exact mindset onto God. We try to carve out an idol of convenience, a personal assistant deity existing only to rubber stamp our own desires. This structure maps the conflict. One side shows the sovereign God of all at the apex. The other model places a subservient genie beneath the user. Pulling God down creates an authority void, instantly filled by incoming icons of wealth and status. Turning the divine into a transactional vending machine strips away our anchor. It leaves us vulnerable to worshiping whatever superficial lies society tells us to value next. Breaking an idol's power begins with recognizing the lie you're currently gripping. Take a mental audit. Are you exhausted from chasing a manufactured standard of duty? Or are you consistently disappointed by a spirituality that feels empty and transactional? Breaking that cycle requires the total surrender of these modern graven images. There is a crushing exhaustion from dedicating your life to maintaining a lie. Letting go of it and yielding to the God of all brings a profound relief. True freedom is found by identifying and then destroying the invisible idols we carry in our own hands.